going to record this. And as you know, so this is just very much part of the book, right? Like, how do we balance it all as moms, as entrepreneurs? Lindsay got sick last week and then got me sick. And this is it, right? This is motherhood and juggling it. And how do we continue to make an impact and call in more clients and cash flow without overwhelm or burnout? And I will tell you, it's not always easy. I have people that support me. Katie supports me. My mother-in-law, I wrote about that actually in the book very openly. And I know I talked about this at the book signing, but when I first had Lindsay, I was terrified. I'm like, oh my God, my body had no blueprint for how to take care of a baby, the fact that I was going to be sleep deprived, the fact that how am I going to run my business and do this? And so one of the big things that I always talk about is that God is literally my CEO. God is the one that I turn to. The other day, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel better to take care of my child. I pray to God. No lie. And the 10 minutes later, I threw up and I felt better. So God answered my prayer. But I say this because that's really the foundation of being an entrepreneur, of juggling all of this. It's like, who is your support? Who is your village? Who are the people that are going to see your brilliance even on the days when you don't see it? And I hope that I am that person for all of you. And for those who are brand new to my world, I want you to know that I am here with you, cheering you on in your business. So what I thought I would do today, since we have a more intimate group here, which I, love, that we can really connect with each other, is I thought that we would go through a couple of fun little breakout sessions so that we can help each other, because a lot of us here are business owners, and to talk about your chapter, to talk about what it is that you see as your next level of expansion. So I have some fun prompts here. And I have a really fun and exciting surprise at the end that you're going to want to stay for. So I don't know if it's going to be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but I'm here to be of service. So if you have coaching questions, if you have questions about publishing or anything like that, we'll have time for that too at the end. I'm literally an open book. This is book number 6 for me. I'm a huge nerd. I love to write. I love to inspire people. So that's why we're here. And then I also want to do some coaching on helping you expand your brilliance. So yes, this is a book celebration, but again, it's very much what came through so clearly for me today was to help you really own your brilliance and your gifts and the story that you have to share. So maybe for you, the next level and layer of your business is going to be revealed tonight. So let's get excited about that. I see. Okay, some more people joining here. Okay. So I want to just take a moment and honor each author. So let me just go ahead, because I know a lot of people are not here tonight, but I want to just say your name and wave if you're here. And if you're not here, we're still going to acknowledge you. So Jackie Boyle is not here. Kate is here, but she's off camera. Tara Davis, Kelly Frost, Christine Furman is here with her kids. Sujin Jun, she's not here tonight. Melissa L. Legit, I always say her name wrong. Sherry's here with her fan club. Janet Reese, Melissa Smith is here. I love her background. Ashley Sullivan, Erin Thompson, Ashley Walker, and the beautiful Katie Wood, because she has, it's alphabetical order and Wood is always last. Yeah. So, and feel free, chat, ask questions in the chat. I will open up for, like I said, for coaching. I'm here to be of service. Okay. So I wanted to just, before we go into the breakout rooms, talk a little bit and brag on these ladies here. So this project was not just about becoming a best-selling author. I have witnessed a transformation in all of these women. I've followed them. I've seen them start to shine more. I've seen them stretch themselves and hire virtual assistants and start to show up completely differently. They've healed parts of themselves like self-doubt, unworthiness, perfectionism. I call these low voltage patterns, right? So like if we're a light bulb that we're meant to shine brightly in the world and illuminate everything around us, when we go through trauma, we have these low voltage patterns that come through. Somebody just he's trying to get in here, I see, because they just purchased the free offer. So hopefully they get in on time. We have these low voltage patterns that kind of reroute our energy into shame, into doubt, into all of these things that dim our light. And so when we go to shine in our business, it's like a flicker. It's like, oh, I have a little bit to share. When I want to dial up that full power, this is actually what my TED Talk is about. So I'm giving a little bit here of what I've seen over the past 13 years working with thousands of people, is that when we go through these very traumatic things, it's almost like our light burns out. And so my goal is to help reignite your light through healing work, through rapid transformation work, which if you've been in any of my retreats or you've been in my spaces, you see how quickly things can shift. Because I'm really able to dial in with people and see their gifts and their brilliance. And so I'm going to help you today to really dial in and get crystal clear on what is your zone of genius. That's one of the first things that we're going to be going through. So not only is this a book launch party, but it's meant to help you in your business. These women have found and reclaimed their voice. All of them stood up and had a microphone in their hand, and it was vulnerable, and it's them sharing their story. And so I really encourage you, if you've not gotten the book yet, to read all of the stories, because you will find pieces of these women within yourself. And the thing that I love about this book is it's giving practical advice for the journey. So I know for someone like me, I was a first-time mom. I didn't know. I needed hope. I needed inspiration. And so this book, this creation, not only helped these authors heal and reclaim their light, but now you are all in this room. Hi, Erin. I like that purple. You're being affected by their stories. And so that's my ultimate mission, is creating a ripple effect of healing in the world, because I know what it's like to be broke, homeless, jobless, at my rock bottom, feeling like, what am I doing, with a rare eating disorder and having anxiety and PTSD. And that was where I started this journey to picking myself back up and learning how to reclaim my own light so I could help other people shine. So that's why we're here. We're here to have fun tonight. We're here to dial into expanding your brilliance to your soul gifts, so that when you stand up at a networking meeting, when you go on camera, when you have a microphone and a stage, it's like whoosh, that magnetic, that person in the audience is going to be like, that's my coach. That's my person. I want to buy this from them. And there's that just magnetism that you exude. And so that is what when I say it's allowed to be easier, that's what I say. It doesn't always have to be the efforting and the doing 1,000 things. It's about alignment with your true soul's essence. So when we first go into this, I want to ask you this question, and I want you to jot down what comes through, and then we're going to go into some breakout rooms, because I want you, this is not just like a passive a passive thing here. I want you to interact with other people and be like, oh, I don't know what my genius is. And then you can brainstorm and figure that out. So what happens when people are in your space? So I want you to say that you sell jewelry. Perfect. When someone comes into your energy, into your space, or they follow you on social media, number one, how do you want them to feel? So write this down for yourself, because you're going to be sharing. How do you want them to feel? And what happens when people are in your space? What shifts for them? Because this is going to key us into what is your unique brilliance. So as an example, one of my gifts is that I see people in their highest potential. When I look at someone, I see where they're going, I see their brilliance, and I quickly draw it out of them. So Sherry, you commented on this because she's been to my retreats. It's very, God has given me this gift of really just seeing the beauty in people and their light and helping draw it out of them so that you're naturally radiating at your true soul essence frequency, meaning you're vibrating higher, you have more magnetism. The people that are meant to work with you naturally are drawn to you because of this inner work that we do. Another thing that happens when people are in my space is I hold the belief for them even before they see it. And I've heard this from client and client and client again. They're like, you believed in me before I believed in me because I can see your highest potential, because I see your highest self. I see the best in them. And because of that, when they're in my coaching spaces, when they're in my events or VIP days, things shift very quickly. And there's that quantum jump. It shifts what's possible for them. So examples are my clients have quadrupled their speaking fees, attracted aligned opportunities, they've gotten on TV because again, it's that inner work, it's how they're showing up differently in that full powered state. So yes, we work on strategy, but it's how are people transforming in my energy? The third thing that happens is we collapse time and space. So when you're here where you want to be, and then this is where you are, within 5 minutes, I'm able to dial in very quickly and see the blind spots, gaps, patterns, draining your brilliance and help you to reclaim that so that you're, again, operating from that full power. And then we translate that brilliance into magnetic messaging, into offerings, into VIP days, into soulful sales strategies, and things that you can do to expand your brilliance to, guess what? Call in more income, to impact more lives, because I know that's why you're all here. That's what God wants for us, right? He wants us to use the gifts he gave us. So I want to ask you, what happens when people are in your spaces? So not just like the surface level, like I help people feel better by like pharmacogenomics or like they have more energy. I want you to go levels deeper and think about how you help people to collapse time, how you help them with life-changing results, and speak that out, because the more clear you are, again, when you stand up somewhere, when you show up, your presence and that confidence is going to shine through. So a lot of what I work on with people is confidence. It really comes down to this inner work and this inner belief. So I'm curious, is anything popping out for you here? If you could type it in the chat. I am curious. Don't be afraid to brag on yourself. That's the whole point. Is to own. So many times we're like, oh, I'm just gonna stay back here, and I want you to own these gifts. Expand your brilliance. Come on, Katie Wood, let's go. Katie was a one-on-one client of mine. I feel a block. Okay, let's talk. Go ahead. Let me hear you. Yeah, could you come off? Yep.
Yes, I feel a block. Constantly creating content, constantly trying to convey an emotion through what I'm trying to provide to the world. And it comes across very, a lot of times scientific, where that's my comfort zone of speaking.
Right.
Because, science is, natural for me to talk about. And we're all, a lot of us on here are pharmacists as well.
Clinical. Yeah.
Yes, clinical. So when I think that when I'm speaking clinically, I feel like it's not getting translated to the outcome that they're trying to achieve.
Right.
And that's ultimately, wanting to not only improve their health, but just feeling vibrant, feeling like themselves again.
I want you to pause. Wait. There's an emotion that wants to move through you here. What is that emotion?
The emotion's frustration. It's frustration of
Yes,
not being able
I
to
feel that.
articulate.
Yes. So where is that? Where does that live? Because this is helping everybody. Does anybody else have this challenge? Right? It's okay. So where does this live for you?
It lives in a little bit of being intimidated to be more vulnerable when I'm speaking, allowing people kind of more into who I am. I've
Yes.
always been more of a private person, and I've been taught that my whole life, not to air my dirty laundry to the public. And
Right.
it's hard for me to get to those more privately shared emotions or experiences to share with the masses, because social media and that, particular avenue of sharing your story can be uplifting, but it can also be very nasty. So I think that's what
Yeah.
I'm a little bit afraid of.
I feel it
Rejection.
here. There's a block here in your throat. Do you feel that?
Yes.
It's like a constriction.
Yep.
It's like I really want to speak my truth, but there's like a block there. So that's where I feel the block for you. So I want you to just everybody can do this too, because this everybody, you know, has different ways that this manifests. What part of you doesn't feel safe to show who you really are?
Hmm. I don't really know. I don't know how to I think that that's been my problem,
Close
is
your
not
eyes.
being
Close
able
your
to
eyes with me.
identify.
This is it right
Mhm.
here. We're gonna just be with this part of you. This tender part of you that so badly wants to make an impact. I can just feel that in your energy. All right, you just want to make an impact, and yet something's stopping you. And this is a protective part, and we all have different ways that this shows up. And so maybe just taking off that first layer of if there's any judgment there, like, why is this happening? WTF, any of those things, and it's okay to laugh. That breaks up the energy.
Mhm.
What is the fear here? That if I
I
speak my
think
truth,
just think it's more of a fear of failure, not being believed.
mm,
Someone coming in and discrediting me.
yep,
That fear of still feeling that imposter syndrome about myself, even though I've been practicing in this space for years. Um, that a lot of it, it's that it's I'm confident in my abilities when I'm behind the scenes, but when it comes to taking my voice to the masses, I'm afraid of my peers
yes.
judging me. And not so
Okay.
much judging me, but more of like discrediting me. Someone who, I mean, it's a space that's very competitive when it comes to business. And there's a lot that are doing greater things than I am right now. And I feel like I'm behind or I haven't done enough.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out and navigate a way to make it possible for more people to do what I do.
Hmm.
I
So
think
what?
ultimately it's a peer thing. It's really the
Yes.
people who know what it is that I do and just making a mistake. It's the fear of making a mistake and it being very public.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you a quick funny story that will make everybody laugh here?
Yes.
So I have a virtual assistant, Iris. And it was supposed to be a finger like that pointing up. She put the middle finger up emoji by accident. And it was all over it was on LinkedIn, it was on like everywhere.
I didn't know
And
that was
I
there.
luckily I found it and I was like, "Oh." But like talk about a bad mistake. So I get that. And I want to give, because sometimes when we laugh, it kind of like lightens up the pattern, right? So I want to validate this part of you. And so many of us have, like I said, different ways that this shows up. And I really want to just acknowledge you, Melissa, because you're so damn courageous. Like you just say it and it's like you're going to shift because of it. And that is what puts you ahead, in my opinion. You're not behind, you're like way ahead because you're doing this work. And this is the work that every entrepreneur has to do because we are faced with ourselves. When we go into business, it's going to bring up every unhealed part of you, right? And so it's like, where can we thank this protector part of you that's like, I just don't want to fail. And I don't want to be discredited or look bad or have someone point and go, oh, that's wrong. So I think even just acknowledging that kind of lightens it a little bit. It's like, okay, thank you for protecting me. What is a 1% shift that can open you up a little bit more to shining more in who you are? Because you're such a beautiful soul. So, like, that little crack of vulnerability, and maybe this is for everybody here, like what is that? Just, sometimes we think like, oh, we have to be on the TEDx stage and like, all these big things because that's what everybody else is doing. But it's like your nervous system has to calibrate to what you're ready for energetically. So it's what is that 1% shift for everybody here that can open up that light a little bit more to say it's safe for me to shine, it's safe for me to be seen. How would that manifest practically?
Mm. I think it's really starting to get more involvement where I have more communication directly as opposed to putting information out there. It has to be more of a direct communication line with people, more connection.
Connection. Boom. Yes. That's actually, what's funny is like I'll get random downloads for people. I'm like, you're not even my client right now. And like God's dropping all this stuff in. And I think that actually came through for you the other day. It was like that connection piece. So like, how can you have more connection with people, even as simple as in a reel? And again, this you're helping everybody on this call, just to let you know, and anybody watching the replay. So how do we connect with people?
I mean, it's literally having conversations, being engaged with them, interaction. And I'm still trying to navigate how to make to
Have
exude
a
that
workshop.
magnetism you're talking about. Yeah, exactly. Like workshops. But I've tried it before in the past and it's kind of been at when I feel comfortable to do it. I also have a very weird thing about with just popping on and just kind of being ad-libbed on social platforms because
Yes.
it's a
Because
control
you're
thing for
here.
me.
Because you're
Yes.
here. And we want to
Mm-hmm.
marry this and this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
For everybody, because a
Yes.
lot of us spend time in that mental energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that I'm getting to some of these other comments here. This is me too. Look, Erin, everybody's with you on this chat. You better go back through this chat here.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh gosh.
you're getting so much love in
I've
this
been
chat.
working it. I've been working it. I'm trying to get a breakthrough because I really could use it right now.
Yeah, I feel like we just did. It's like that connection, like you have to connect with yourself and really, and I'd love to hear when you guys go into the breakout rooms, like what is it that you want people to feel in your presence? That that's something that shifts for them that you can start talking about and owning. Like I just said before, like my three things, like I see people's highest potential, we collapse time and space, I hold the belief with them, and as a natural result you rise into who you were born to be. Like that's not something you can chat GPT. That is a transformation. So it's not just information, it's transformation. So what is that transformation for people? So I want to hear, let's actually go into the breakout room. And if you're stuck, be like, hey, I'm stuck, who can help me think this through? And connecting to my why help me speak more openly. Yeah. Okay, so let's do some quick breakout rooms, and I'll type in the chat what to talk about because I know it was a while back. But thank you, Melissa. You're a leader, you're a rock star, you're helping everybody in this room. Okay, so sign manually. Here we go. Okay, I'll put 3. Hopefully you guys can add room. Hopefully everybody can come on. Okay. I want to hear from some people here. Sherry, I want to hear from you.
Me. What do you want to hear?
Because I know you, you're like, I'm humble.
What do
I
you
want
want
to
to know?
hear some, want to hear some, what came up for you? Oh, there's
Um,
Kate.
Okay, so the question was, how do I want people to feel? So, with my background being in critical care nursing, I I can have a conversation about anything while I'm eating. You know, nothing phases me. And I want people to have that comfort level with me, whether, like I told the girls, whether it's about their latest bowel movement or something that they need help with. And I don't want people to I want everyone to feel comfortable with me and know that I'm not looking them at as a dollar sign, is to check off and to move on. I think since I'm one of the few here that's in an MLM direct sales space, a lot of people have icky feelings about those, and there are icky people that do that, and I get that, and I don't, and I'm not one of the. I don't want to say I don't want to be. I am not one of those icky people. I was just telling my breakout group that I actually got a message today from someone that said, "Hey, it's so and so and so and so, like Lou and Katie, and we're with Thrive, and we have this really great offer." And da 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 da. Da. I have no idea who they are. And I sent them a message back and I said, I don't know who you are. I'm with Arbonne, and you are the reason that MLM has a bad name. And no response. Like, I
So
don't like that ickiness.
yeah, so here's the thing. You get to decide how you operate and how people feel in your energy. So
Mhm.
it sounds like comfortable, welcomed. So how would that translate in your business to open the door for people to work with you?
Open the door to people to work. I guess it would be
Because
more
it's
of,
like, hey, welcome in, come into the party. Here's Sherry's house. Like you open your house anyway, right? You
um,
have that.
yeah, I do. I do. I mean, it's more of a trust issue. And I honestly, it's just to know that, yes, you are invited to my house. I am having an event. There is not the expectation to purchase something. I'm here to educate.
Uh-huh.
Even though I'm not allowed to give medical advice, I do know some things,
So why do
but
you even need to have that you say that you want this, but then, oh, but I don't want the dollar signs, but there's always a but.
I don't want to be that icky MLM person.
Okay, so decide you won't be, but you're blocking sales from saying this. Because it's like,
So,
oh, I'm welcoming, but then I don't want this. So we're focusing on what you're not wanting, but in saying that, it's like bringing it in.
okay, so then what do I do?
So I would claim you have to know that in your embodiment, your energy is going to speak for itself. You don't need to say, well, I'm not here to sell you. Your energy is going to say it all. So
Okay.
if your energy could speak, what would it say?
What would my
You have
energy?
it.
I have, I work with an amazing company. I have amazing products, and I believe in them. If I didn't believe in them, my family wouldn't be using them. I wouldn't be sharing them with people. And I think everyone has their own opinions and choices, but I think that this is a good decision and these are good products and they should use them.
Done. More expansive, more open. That's you. When we start to introduce resistance and we're like having to justify and you're killing your vibe there. It's like, this is what I have. I like
Yeah,
own those gifts. And it's not just the products, right? It's not just what you're selling, it's how. It's the
yeah.
energy that people feel in your presence, which I always feel. You're a ray of sunshine.
You're always so sweet to me.
No, it's the truth. I'm not I speak the truth. So and I say this and thank you everybody for being open to this because how many times do we have oh the but or there's like a back end like well I don't want the money. It's like you're let yourself receive. It's okay. Let yourself share from your heart. This is what I have. I have something that's here to help someone. And maybe for the jewelry, it's like you help women feel beautiful. It's like accessorizing and fun and how can you make it like elevate the energy of what you're sharing? Katie, I'm curious. I'm being drawn to Katie next. Thank you, Sherry, for playing full out
Thank you.
here.
Uh-huh. Thanks for
Yeah.
picking on me.
It's always fun with me. Okay, Katie, go ahead.
I had shared that, being a fertility coach, there's a lot of compassion and empathy involved. And I've been told I'm a good listener. I have a very like gentle and calm aura about myself. So I think that people tend to feel comfortable and safe. So then they open up and that they'll share and yeah, just feel seen and heard at the end of the day. And I have heard from many people, not even just clients, just people that I've talked to in the DMs, like, thank you for listening. Thank
Mm,
you for like just letting me share and just listening to my story and my experience and what I've gone through because I know that a lot of times in doctors' offices, it's just like you can be dismissed or gaslighted or your whatever you come to the doc, your concerns can be kind of like downplayed and dimmed and things like that. So I think just
mhm.
being that uh, space for people to be able to open up and share and have someone actually listen without interruption and necessarily have like I don't know, I can't think of what word I want to say, like an agenda, so to say.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah,
What's a gift that you haven't owned yet
I don't know.
that you're not currently owning? Because this is all about expanding your brilliance. So we want to reach as many people as possible. And when you speak the truth, when you allow yourself to be fully self-expressed, you're going to magnetize the people that are ready for you. So I'm feeling like there's something for you in your energy that's like wanting to be dialed up as far as owning something.
Hmm.
So I feel like what flashes in my mind is like how much education and you constantly invest in yourself.
Hmm.
So like what around that?
Um, I don't know. I guess I don't feel the need to like share all of that. I mean, I definitely do.
Well,
It's
it helps in terms of collapsing time for people,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So like you don't have to brag and say this is what I've done and this is my certification
Right.
and da 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 I'm the shit. You weave
Hmm.
it into different stories and you say I help clients collapse time and then you share an example or you put a post out or and I know that you do this in different ways, but like how can you really start to own um how you help people accelerate the path
Hmm.
to conceiving?
Yeah.
So just something to think about there. That could be helpful. Anybody else? Anybody else that's stuck or like, what are we doing here? Starting to realize my block of being visible. I need to shift my thinking. It's like when people your FIFA hub they perceive. It's sent too soon. Yeah, that's how what I am saying. It's almost like there's a lot of like stories around social media and what are people gonna think and what if you get to just show up and be yourself, right? Like what would that feel what would authentically feel good? What masks do we have to take off? And this is actually something that we're going to be going into. I'm going to share about this in a couple minutes here. But we have these protective parts of us, right? Like the overthinking, the fear, the things that block our light, they leak our light. That what I was talking about before. And when you really do this inner work around taking these masks off and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to be seen, it truly allows for your heart to shine through and for that influence, income, and impact to be natural, right? It's because think about it. If you have a mask on, you can't speak. You can't, you can't shine that light. Thoughts about that? What masks do we wear?
I'd like to share on that.
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead, Christine.
I know for myself, so I came from a teaching, in the classroom, teaching background. And I was friends and still am friends with all of my teachers, right? All of my coworkers. But then I start shifting into this new space of homeschool and my different beliefs around the environment that I was in and how those beliefs have changed. And I know for me at first, that was like, ooh, I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to upset anyone because I was in that space,
Yep.
but we're constantly evolving. I mean, we're constantly, stepping into our power of who we are meant to be. And it was like, that's okay. that's not my ideal client either, you know? So really stepping into that power and saying like, I don't care what they think at this point, you know, it doesn't matter because I don't know. It was just like, that was a shift for me for sure of like, that was my life before. Now it's different, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I can relate in the sense like I wrote a post like I will never wear a white coat again. Like, and it's no offense to anybody. Like for me, and I was like I might get some hate on this. I don't know, but it just is stifling. I don't want to wear it. I will never wear it again. Like so in that sense, I get that. And I don't want to disrespect pharmacists or anybody that wears a white coat because I know how much education and importance it is to have that professional look. I just know for myself, I don't want that. So I can get it in that sense. Um, but you can know it cognitively, but your body and your nervous system is still just like with Melissa before she wants to increase her voice and her impact, but it's like then that block hits you and you can't always see what that is. And that's really my zone of genius is coming in and saying, with love and compassion, of course, this makes so much sense. How can we shift this? How can we transmute this wound, this fear? Um, because it's not, you can't just do it through mindset work because when we have trauma, that it lives in the body. And so it's not going to feel safe if you've always been abandoned to ask for help, right? If every time you ask for help, people don't show up for you, it's not going to feel safe to do that, to lean on support. And so that's why these different patterns show up. And it's going to keep us in the same familiar results, right? So if we keep doing the same thing and operating from the same patterns that we have been, we're going to keep creating the same results. So today you got to taste a little bit of some of the things that are showing up for you right now. And I know that you're all visionary leaders, you're people that are here, you're movers and shakers. Like you would not be drawn to this book to be part of this book if you were not here for a big purpose. And so I'm just celebrating you all right now. I know that this kind of turned into more of like coaching, but it was just really on my heart to be of service in this way to help you expand your brilliance. And actually, this is part of, let me go right into this now. So I'm excited because I get divine downloads and all of these things that come through. And one of the things that came through recently for me was to actually have an expanding your brilliance workshop. So if you are ready to expand your influence, income, and impact, if you're ready to operate from your heart, to stop overthinking, to stop stifling your voice, to stop playing small, to really show up and be seen, and to do it to operate your business in a way that feels fun and like magic. And let me tell you, it's not always like that for me, but when you operate in a new energy from transforming from the inside out, you have a lot more fun in your business. And so that is what we're going to be doing in this experience. It's not a passive like experience where you're just going to be sitting and taking notes. Like anybody who's been to my retreats, the powerful shifts and transformation that happen in that room. There's something magical about being with other people and getting that laser focused hot seat coaching. And so this is for the person that is really ready to like fully dial up your power, your magnetism, to expand your brilliance without burning out. And the thing is that everybody has different blocks, different blind spots, different nervous system patterns that come up to protect you, to hide that light. And so what we're doing here is you will be even though it's a full room of people, you will get that intimate attention to be able to shift these patterns, to leave with a solid actionable plan to strategically scale your business, to expand your brilliance without overwhelm or burnout. So I am so excited about it. So if you are free on September 25th, I know it's already, in fall, it's going to be from 10 to 3 here in Pittsburgh. And here's the thing, this is something fun that I'm actually creating. So I have created a flyer. So if you work a 9-to-5 job and you want to try to get this paid through your company, I have a flyer that you can just send right to your manager. It shows the statistics of having professional development. If you're an entrepreneur, you can expense this. And what I'm doing, since you're all on tonight, is I'm giving you a coupon code for $100 off. So this is the lowest price it's going to be. It's the coupon expires on Tuesday the 3rd. I'm just reading my notes here so I don't get the wrong date. At 11:59. So I'm going to drop it here in the chat so you can take a look at that. And I'm really excited about it because honestly, like this just scratches the surface of and even the book, right? Like there's things in the book that I teach, but to actually be in real time, getting the coaching, getting the support, being with other people, things shift very quickly. And then you're operating from a new energy. You're operating from a fully powered state that allows you to call in those clients that are ready for you. They're in your world right now. I promise you that. So if you're getting frustrated, if you're hitting up against road bumps, I promise you that there's another way. There's an easier path, and I want to be the way shower to help you with that. So I want to open up for coaching as well. If anybody has anything else that they want to ask, and I'm just going to quickly, you know what? I'll show you this real quick. Hold on. Share. So this is the flyer. So if anybody is like, oh, I want to try to get this reimbursed, I'm actually Sherry. I'm going to be sharing this at the event. I'm going to a networking event on next Thursday. But this is a little bit more about what you're going to be learning. There's the QR code. And then here's more about how, like, why this is a smart investment for employers, but also for you, right? It's going to increase sales, profitability, working more efficiently, all of those things. So I just wanted to say, if you need me to email this to you to try to get covered by your 9-to-5 job, happy to do that for you. I got all the bases covered here. Awesome.
Well, I only have one problem. The 25th
Okay. Oh,
of
sorry, what?
September. Robin,
Hi,
the
Robin.
25th of September.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a no-go for me because I will
Do
be
you
getting ready to get
remember
up.
the 25th night of September?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
well, that's okay.
I'll be getting on a plane to go to Europe.
Oh, enjoy that. I see people already have plans. You got summer plans. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody have any other questions about their business or how I can help you or how I can share? Me neither. I don't know what that was, but
No.
oh, there's a doggy. I see a doggy. All right, so that coupon code, so it's Shine 2025, and then it's coupon code. It'll expires on 6/3 at 11:59. Okay. Does anybody else want to share just like something about their chapter? Anything from the book? Even it was chaotic. Yeah. Aw. Hopefully you got even a little bit more clarity about your unique gifts, how you want people to feel in your space, even if it was a 1% shift, right?
I just want to say thanks to Erin on our breakout room session. She reminded me to really hone in on my why. And I had a lot of trouble trying to articulate that to her. So that's what I'm been really working on over here, just kind of typing as we're all
This is
talking
my
and just
best friend.
listening.
My little
Maybe-
journal, I'm telling you, it is very helpful. I
Hey,
still
yes.
do this work. I am getting more refined on like who is my dream client, what is the work I do in the world, you know, just refining. Because think about it, if you have a dart and you're trying to throw that dart at a dartboard, but you're like, fuck it, I don't know, let's throw it that. Like you're not paying attention, you're not looking, right?
That's what I feel like I'm doing currently.
Our energy
I'm
has to
just
be
tired.
yeah, focused, speed, power, momentum, right? From aligned and abundant. So when we sharpen the dart to get it in to the dart, like that's our ideal client, that's the opportunity, that's the TED Talk, that's what I want. That's going to help refine your results, right? If we're just like, I don't know, try that, see what this happens, this, you know. So that's the purpose. And again, all of you have seen, getting that feedback from other people, getting the coaching, this is going to help you. So,
You know, it's funny. I'm doing a lot of trial and error, and that's what I try to portray that this testing does for folks, is to eliminate that. So
there you go.
kind of ironic, right? That's kind of my
So that's
my
actually
take
a
in
great
life.
analogy. That's a great analogy to use. Like and I steal it from me. I don't care. Like you're trying to throw darts blindfolded, and it's like
Mhm.
and it's Katie too. I see you shaking your head. The same thing. Like you're trying to get pregnant, and you're in Facebook groups and doing all these other things that really aren't getting you anywhere. And sometimes we have to be challenging and bold in our messaging.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
love it.
Katie gets the credit for putting that in the comments. I just reiterated it to you, Melissa.
Oh no, it's okay. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate that. No matter what, still very, very
Katie got the credit. Erin reiterated
yes.
it.
Very helpful, but very true. And you forget about that, your why, because that should be at the core of how you're trying to relay information to the world, especially about what you do.
And you wrote about that in the book, right? All of you did. You had some part of your why is in this book. So use whatever you had in there, whether it was a story, whether it was a breakthrough moment, whether it was a vulnerable moment, and share that. That's your connection right there.
I keep
So
coming back to that.
Yep. I pray that this book just impacts so many people's lives, and you continue sharing it and expanding our brilliance together. And it's that collective sharing. Put it on a post-it note. Yeah. I love it.
Post-it note.
Well, let's get a little picture before we hop off here. Everybody hopefully has their book with them. Yay. Melissa's driving again, so she'll just wave.
Mine right next to me. I'm sorry.
Oh no, how am I gonna do this? I can't hold mine up because I have to do the screenshot, but I'll just smile. Okay.
Yours is in the background, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that was the other book.
No, it's
here.
not. There you go.
Wait, hold on, let me do it again. Thanks, Sherry. I didn't even think of that. I'm like, okay, well, I am celebrating you. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing the work, keep showing up. I believe in you. And yeah, there will be another anthology, so maybe there'll be a part 2 like Erin's daughter wants. So
yeah,
thank you so much, Robin, for joining us, and I hope that this was valuable. And yeah, and let me know if you have any other questions. All right, have a good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
bye everybody.
Bye.